Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Wesana Health Holdings channel, pioneering innovative medicines to change lives. Joining us, we have Daniel, the Chief Executive Officer. Welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me again.
Always a pleasure to have you back. So you guys are still pumping out news media. We just got that Wesana is exploring broadening the SANA-013 led indication to treat major depressive disorder with the completion of a successful pre-IND meeting with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. So tell us what this means and what's going on in that aspect of your business.
Yeah, so it's a big milestone on the drug development side. We worked extremely hard to put together a 375-page briefing booklet, which is essentially characterizing the clinical development plan, the safety data associated with psilocybin and CBD, and then you submit that to the FDA along with the clinical studies we've done in animal and ask them questions in this pre-IND meeting, IND being investigational new drug application, and then they give you feedback on the pathway forward. For example, we led with traumatic brain injury related major depressive disorder. They thought that it was too narrow. Essentially, what's the difference between emotional caused depression and physical depression? You can't answer that, but this was a strategy that we employed, and we're hoping that they would say this. So they broadened our indication to look at just major depressive disorder. So we go from 6 million person TAM to 264 million person TAM. So that was really exciting news. We are accelerating. They've suggested to not go into healthy human beings, so we can bypass a phase 1 study and do a phase 1b/2a, so we can go right into our population. We aren't giving up on the traumatic brain injury community. What you can do is enrich trials in phase 3 so that you can get a carve out in the label packet to treat the TBI community as well that shows up with major depressive disorder. They accepted our full farm tox program, meaning our program is different than anybody else, which we have a loading dose of psilocybin done in a clinic with a therapist, and or we have a self-administered at-home presentation that you do not have to hallucinate with. It hits the similar receptors. CBD and psilocybin work similar to Zoloft, which is already FDA approved, and they accepted that. So it was a extremely successful meeting. They've also given us orphan indication to go after because they know we have a pre-IND number on migraine. There's a lot of good CGRPs out there, but they suggested that we look at 3 orphan indications. The reason that is really impactful is because you can move right into a phase 3 with an orphan indication, and then you can bolt on other indications upon approval. So all in all, pretty exciting meeting for sure.
Yeah, I feel like every day is becoming more and more pivotal in the psychedelic space. It's probably being too broadly overlooked, in my opinion. But moving forward here, for a lot of these newer investors that might just be stumbling onto this video, I mean, from growing your clinics to actually getting involved in the physical location aspect to just continuing this pipeline, what would you tell new investors that, just stumbling in here and what they should be looking at? Anything else would be great.
Yeah, of course. I think that it's essential to look at this industry as biotech. The March 11th meeting with the FDA was essential for us to now make pivotal decisions about what we're going to move forward with. We have a clinical network of 2 clinics. We've built out a 3rd that's going to be done mid-May. And that race is, I'm sure you've seen, heating up as far as acquisitions go. So we are in talks because of how exciting that side of the business is, and because it's healthcare focused and not biotech focused, to spin these off. And we've really proud of the foundation that we've put in place. We've doubled revenue month over month. The patient visits are increased by over 80%. We've increased the administration of FDA-approved Spravato, which you can provide insurance remuneration for, by over 300%. So the clinics are operating very nicely, but as a company, we have to get really defined. When you start generating human data, which we will be in the next 6 to 8 months, then you need to pick a side. It's either healthcare or it's biotech, and with the exciting news, we're going to refocus the company on all of the R&D efforts in the near term, get to a Q4 IND clearance for major depressive disorder, get into another pre-IND meeting for an orphan indication, and be in human in Q1 of next year.
Incredibly insightful. I appreciate your time, Daniel. And I want to pass the question off to the viewers at this point. We'd love to know what you guys think in that comment section below. Consider subscribing, because as news continues to come down the wire, of course, we'll continue to update you here. But on that, stay cool, stay awesome. And as always, I look forward to catching you in the next one.